AT&T presents the Class of 2000.
For many months now, all of our CBS News broadcasts have been doing pieces from time to time about the American high school kids who are in the Class of 2000. And Allison Stewart joins us now to talk about one that she has visited. It's the Native American Preparatory School?
Native American Preparatory School, and the best way to understand it is to separate the phrase and then put it together again at the end. It's a prep school, and these kids are immersed in chemistry and the classics like a Choate, an Andover, an Exeter. Native Americans, people with a proud history that's disappearing, ironically, largely due to the way they were educated in the past. There are people alive who remember having their braids cut off and being told to forget their native language. At this school, these kids are encouraged to be fully Native Americans and do really well in their SATs.
Let's take a look.
Okay. The Pecos River Valley of New Mexico was once home to Native American Pueblo people before the conquest of the West forced them onto reservations. It's an old, sad story. But today, a new chapter is being written in the history books.
The reason our water is so hard is because limestone lines the riverbank, and calcium comes from limestone. And
this land is filled with Native people once again. At the Native American Preparatory School, where 74 American Indian students from 32 different tribes have come to the only privately funded boarding school solely for Native kids.
By 1916, the assimilation of Indians into white society was taken for granted.
Dr. Millage Bennett's American history class is very different from the kind of American history most of these students were taught on their reservations.
The first thing they do is they usually come into the room and they go, American history, here we go. And then I start writing on the board and they see me immediately split the blackboard in half, and part of it says U.S. and then I say Native American perspective or Native American viewpoint of historical event. All of a sudden you see high fives and yeah, you know, and that usually keeps them glued for the entire year.
Before I came here, my culture was around me all the time and it didn't really affect me of how important it was. So,
Class of 2000 member Ben Calabaza is from the Santo Domingo Pueblo in New Mexico.
There's a lot of people on my reservation that don't have what I have, like kids my age, and I feel like, I feel uncomfortable when I go home because I see other children who don't have an education that I have right now, and it kind of makes me feel sad.
The education system has failed Native Americans throughout U.S. history and still does today. Only half of Native kids graduate from high school, and of those, less than 5% go on to graduate from college. Part of the problem is the cultural isolation most Native American kids feel at predominantly white colleges. At Native American Prep, the whole student body and half the faculty is Native. For Millage Bennett, a Black Creek and Cherokee Indian, coming here was a transforming experience.
I've never really seen anybody who looks like me, you know, in the teaching situations I was in. And I came out here. It was amazing. For the first time in my life, I was teaching my own people, you know, the things that I would have loved to have had from a Native, you know, mentor. And it just really overwhelmed me.
What are his attitudes toward life, the universe, and everything?
The academics are demanding at the Native American Prep School. Modeled after East Coast boarding schools, the curriculum is rigorous, yet they offer Navajo as a language and are mindful about student ties to tribe and family.
my dad introduced me to archery when I was real little.
Crystal Salas is another member of the class of 2000. She is a two-time state champion in archery and a junior Olympian. For her, poetry is another very powerful form of expression.
I told you I was quitting. I quit loving you. Ow!
I'm very conscious of the fact it's not our responsibility here at NAPS to teach these students how to be Indians.
Sven Huseby is head of school at Native American Prep.
It's our responsibility to treat their Native American identities with sensitivity, with respect, so they can grow.
The Native American Preparatory School was the dream of Richard Ettinger, heir to the Prentice Hall publishing fortune. As a student at Dartmouth College in the 40s, he started wondering why there were no Native American students at a school where the education of Indians is written in its charter. For Richard Ettinger, founding this school was the culmination of a lifetime of effort. He died in 1996, the year after Native American Prep opened its doors. His daughter, Barbara, took over the responsibility for keeping the school running.
It became my task. I had worked with him for 10 years prior to his death, so I had time to prepare. Dad had time to be comfortable with the knowledge that the school would be taken care of.
And is this a woolly what?
A woolly booger.
I wouldn't be the person I am now if I didn't come to school here. I couldn't imagine where I would be right now.
It was just bait.
Nikki Nez is a member of the Navajo tribe, and next fall she will begin a new life at Amherst College in Massachusetts. Do you ever think about what it's going to be like when you go to college and you're plunged into a predominantly white
I can handle
academic situation?
I can handle it. I'm a very adaptable person. I already live with it. I'm already a part of it.
I still battle the stigma of the old boarding schools. A lot of the elders have bad memories of what it was like for them when they were in school.
Director of Admissions, Christopher Johnson, is of Chippewa and Saginaw descent. Part of his job is to assure tribe members that this school is different from the government boarding schools of the past, whose stated purpose was to, quote, kill the Indian and save the man.
They worry about the loss of identity, the loss of their culture. It's a very fine line that these kids have to walk in terms of staying rooted in who they are.
Me going off to a school like Yale or whatever, just they're going off into the world to get an education. I owe it to my people to help make a better life for them. Make this.
Wizipan Gariat is Lakota Sioux from the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. Wizzy will attend Yale University this fall. His dream is to be an architect and to rebuild his reservation.
Like, I look at my little sister and I want a better life for her, and I look at some of my nieces and nephews and I want a better life for them. And
last week, the Native American Preparatory School graduated its first class.
How are you?
In some ways, it looked like the end of the year in most high schools. Yearbooks were signed. Class photos were taken. But there were differences. Dustin Whitfield and Solomon Trimble danced their goodbyes to departing friends. Hundreds of friends and relatives gathered at a nearby chapel to send these 21 young people out into the world. And it is a new chapter, a bright new chapter in Native American history.
Cristiano Santiago Martinez. Jolene Abeda. Nikki Nez.
There were plenty of tears to go around, and lots of joy, and hope.
I think they're going to do great things. I think they're going to do great things. I think they're going to create an entirely new image for mainstream America of who Native America is.
These young Native Americans carry a burden for their people, but they have strong shoulders and a good start, and the resolve to make it through college and beyond.
The NAPS class of 1999.